Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be starting a new productivity series, and today's topic will be functional planning styles for weekly layouts. And I have some stickers here to help me do that, as well as some planning tools so I can show you different techniques. And here are the sticker books I pulled from in case you like some of the stickers. Okay, so let's jump in. The first technique we're going to be talking about is time tracking. This style of planning is particularly useful for people who like to have their day completely mapped out, like to know what they're doing every hour, and that helps them kind of view what needs to be done when, and it makes them more productive. I'm going to go ahead and set up this layout for like a full day. Basically, I'm going to put in times for throughout the day. I've seen this done on vertical style layouts where there's already times built in, but since I'm going to show you everything on a horizontal planner in case that's the style planner you have, or you don't have an hourly laid out planner style or your bullet journaling or anything like that, I'm going to show you a technique that you can use to do this same style without having to have a special planner to do it. I went ahead and highlighted 4 different lines there, kind of breaking up the day into 4 quarters, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in the time slots through each. There are also stickers in some of the productivity books that I showed earlier, as well as some that I don't have, and I'm sure you can find some online, Etsy shops and what have you, to mimic what I'm doing here with the numbering of the hours. They'll be already pre-made out, so you won't have to do this yourself. But I like this idea because then you can customize your start time and, basically map out your day however you want. You could also write in the numbers. You don't have to have stickers. I just tried to make it a little bit more clean looking and fun to look at. Just writing in kind of a sample day, but you start off with, when you wake up for the morning, and then kind of map out what main things you're doing at each hour or half an hour. And if you're going to be doing something for longer than the time slot, using a line to map out what hours you'll be doing that task and running through your entire day. And it's pretty simple and straightforward. This one is a little more simplified, but you could definitely get pretty detailed depending on how much room you have to use or what time of day you want to map out. So if you only wanted to do work hours, you could definitely expand on this and really map out your work day. So that's the first technique. So the next style of functional planning we're going to talk about also has to do with time, but this one is focused more on time blocking. Time blocking is a time management method that requires you to kind of divide your day into blocks of time. And basically each block is set aside for accomplishing something, a task or a project that you're working on, so that you only work on that during that time frame and nothing else. So it's very focused in on those things that you are trying to get done in a day. It really forces you to commit to something. You have to say, okay, between such and such an hour, this is what I'll be working on. And it really makes you plan realistically, because you can't do multiple things at once when you're focused in on that time block. So you need to say, okay, I can get this much done if I'm focused in on what I need to do. It avoids multitasking and allows you to really get in a groove or a mode, which I find pretty helpful. And so I'm just setting up some blocks of time here for a normal day or a normal routine, maybe for someone. Things like working out could also be a task that you want to focus on, just your morning routine, whatever you do. Things like going to work is obviously a time block in itself, but you can easily take again, a work day and break it down into individual time blocks based on projects you're trying to get done or tasks that need to be tackled. You don't have to do work-related things. It can just be anything. It can be errands, family, self-care, anything at all, but you've mapped out a section for your day and focused in during that time. The next technique we're going to be talking about is color coding. Color coding is a way for you to define categories of your life by color and then compartmentalizing tasks throughout your day under those categories. It's very useful if you like to see or, again, compartmentalize what you'll be doing at specific times during the day or what is related to what category as you go through your day. So here I'm defining 3 colors for different categories. Blue is going to be work, purple is going to be family, and then I'm using the yellow for personal or things that I want to do for myself. There's different ways you can use it. You can use stickers and color code. There's plenty of options for using like circles or dots to label different tasks. So you can use boxes that have a colorful ring. You can use highlighters to define what color, or even different colored pens is a great way to color code. I'm using the highlighters here, but again, there are different techniques, so a multitude of possibilities here. But it's a really good visual way for you to figure out what you need to do in each category, especially if you like to do things like while you're at work, you have work-related tasks, and while you're at home, you have family-related tasks, and maybe later in the evening or when you have downtime, you have your own personal tasks that you're trying to accomplish. If you like to mentally compartmentalize your day like that, this is a great technique for you to easily see on your planner what you need to tackle and when. The 4th technique I want to talk about for functional styling is sectioning. Now, sectioning is near and dear to my heart. I love using sectioning in my horizontal planner. It really just helps me define my day and kind of see what's important and what I need to be focused on. So I'm going to set this guy up a little bit different than what I normally do so you guys can see some variations. This one here is going to be set up for habits, a top 3, and then an important event or a meeting in this case, so that I know there's some highlight for the day, there is a checklist of sorts, and then in addition to that, I'm adding in a habit space or a place to track habits that I want to get done. You can make your sections fit your life, so they do not have to be anything close to this. I usually use a checklist, and then I do what I call a focus box, which is whatever I think is important for the day that I just want to make sure I get focused in on, and then I leave the other space for decor. But again, you can really customize this to whatever you need. So if you need to focus on what am I cooking today, that could be in a focus section, kind of like in a box or something highlighted there, or your workout or your main work to-dos. It could be a section. Just anything that you think is important to you, and you set aside a section for that task. Some things to note here is with this style of planning, if you're really trying to be functional, it's good to keep those things with the same look and or position on your planner so you always know where to look for those things. So, if you're going to do the habits like I have there, maybe you always have a goal header like that, a today's goal header above them, or you always have them on the far left of the page and they all kind of look the same, so okay, that's my habit section and it's easy to identify. Just makes things a little more functional when you keep that consistency. So the next technique we're going to talk about is visually defining your tasks for the day. This style is using images and pictures to showcase your tasks and to help you visually identify what things you need to have done for the day. I'm using different types of icon stickers here to show a sample of what that might be, but if you don't want to use stickers and you're a bullet journal person, definitely like doodling and stuff could be really great for this, and just doing your own little doodles. It doesn't have to be a physical representation like I'm showing here. It could just be maybe like an asterisk or some kind of symbol that tells you, okay, that is related to work. Just something visually that gives you that idea that that is what this is for. So it could be anything. It doesn't have to be actual icons or images. It can be just a symbol or anything like that. But it's just a way to organize your day and another kind of visual cue for you to know what it is that needs to be done and what kind of compartment that falls under. So I'm just writing in a few fun things. I've got morning coffee run, and then highlighting out an actual meeting that I have with a box, but also using icons for a don't forget. That's another type of icon. Again, more of a visual cue than an actual physical representation of what I need to do. So it's a great way just to get your brain oriented towards something you know you need to do. It kind of helps you remember, especially when you're away from your planner, or keeps that in the back of your mind. Oh yeah, money, I need to deposit that check, that kind of thing. One of the last styles that we're going to be talking about today is a pretty common style of making to-do lists. Those are always easy. You check things off as you go. It's very satisfying and straightforward, uncomplicated. So if your style is to write a lot of small tasks or just kind of to the point tasks, and you like to cross things off throughout your day when you get them done, this is a really great style for you. And I'm just showing a way that you can actually set aside different compartments here as well. So it's not just one big to-do list. You can actually sort things out, say for things that you need to do for work, things you need to do for home, maybe things you need to do for church, for your kids. All that different stuff you can make separate to-do lists, and here's just a way to show you how you could do that. You can also use highlighters and stickers and things to help you define those sections out, and also to create checklists for yourself. I'm using stickers here for headers, but again, you don't need to have stickers or any other equipment. You can do all of this with just a simple pen. I just like to show you some ideas for how you could do it with some added color and variety to kind of make it more visually interesting. And last but not least, this technique isn't so much functional, but it's a great alternative for those days where you maybe don't have a lot going on. COVID-19 has changed the way that our days go about, and maybe we don't have as much going on as we did before. So this is a way for you to utilize your planner, keep track of what you're doing every day, the things you are accomplishing, but also kind of creating a memory or a journal of things that you did in a more memory keeping sort of way. This is, again, not so functional, but I wanted to share this technique because everybody goes through different stages of productivity in their lives, and so this technique is a way for you to keep getting in your planner every day, keep visualizing how you want your day to go, and keeping that habit up of being in your planner and mapping out your day, even when there's not much going on or you've been away from your planner a while and you're trying to get back in. So here I'm just kind of showing you how you might have a day spent with your mom and you just want to write what you did that day, more of a journal style of what you did. It doesn't have to be anything special. It can just be a normal day, a routine day. You don't have anything going on, but throughout the day you say accomplish some tasks that you hadn't really planned on doing but did. Like say you unloaded the dishwasher. Adding those tasks after the fact to give a sense of accomplishment for the day and then maybe help you plan for the future going forward. Last thing I want to talk about here isn't what you would be doing on a daily basis, but for those extra spaces on your planner layout that aren't defined as a day. This is a great space to put in weekly activities that you need to do or things that you're trying to accomplish, but on a more broad basis that doesn't have to be done on a specific day. So I'm setting up a to-do list for things that you know you want to get done throughout the week, but you don't know which day you're going to tackle them. So you just kind of have it there, and as you go through the week, you just have a little reminder to get those done when you have time or when you see a hole or an opening for that to happen. This is a really great technique. I use this all the time because a lot of times I really don't know when I'm going to have time for something, and it's just a good use of that extra space. There's also habit tracking is a really great way to use some of that extra space. Tracking for a day can get a little repetitive, so doing like a habit tracker for a week is great, or multiple habit trackers. Great for sidebars if you have a vertical style layout. And then there's things that you know you're going to need throughout the week, like a meal plan or schedule. Like say your kids are doing things in their school and you just want to keep track of when those activities are. You can just kind of map that out there. If it's like all week long, it's a good way to do it. Or anything you think you want to accomplish throughout the week, it's a great way to have a space for that. So there you have it, you guys. 7 plus a little bonus, different styles for you to plan functionally in your weekly layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found maybe some new techniques you can use to help you be more productive throughout your day. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!